I'm Lauren Bergren, and I'm a customer support account manager.
And I'm Flynn, I'm a sales rep.
And this is Activating Groups and Teams. This may be helpful for you if you're looking to research which team tool on RunSignup would be most helpful for you. So if you're interested in setting up a particular type of team, we have 3 options for you on RunSignup. We have groups and teams, we have fundraising teams, and we also have corporate teams. So we're going to briefly go through each team type and how you would implement them and the use cases for all 3. And then Brian is going to go over a little bit about some of the pricing setups within the groups and teams.
We view ourselves in partnership with our customers. We're successful when you're all successful. Our job is to basically build technology that all of our customers can benefit from.
So the first and most commonly used team type we have are called groups and teams. These are fun, engaging, the purpose to bring runners in who maybe not normally would run a race. The fundraising teams are made up of a group of individuals who raise money together for a cause, and corporate teams are more geared toward large companies. So the first one we're going to go over is our social team feature, groups and teams. This is perfect for social, competitive, and relay teams. You can use social or competitive teams for result purposes. You can have different types of relays, and we have a lot of flexible pricing options for these. You can also get really creative with your team types and your solutions. We've seen best costume, the most amount of runners on a team gets a special award, and a lot of great themes, especially around the holidays or other fun events throughout the year. Flynn, have you ever been on a fun team that you may not have signed up for the race, but the team type enticed you to sign up?
I have. I've been on a couple teams, more just to kind of bond and to get together, maybe a team to give me a discount and stuff like that. But big thing I see it is during like 2021, latter half of 2020, a lot of challenges and virtual events, and even those that are still going, they'll use groups and teams, and it's nice. You can see those if it's a live result or even if it's a virtual challenge or 5K result, you can see what the team affiliation is. And then for the challenges, you can drill into those team results. So you can use those teams to kind of see the top team. For example, Great American 5000 is a race across the U.S. I did it 2 years ago, so it was really fun to track those teams and to kind of see how we did against, friends and foes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like even with the virtual options now, everyone can compete together and really feel a part of something, whether you're in person or not.
Yeah, so the Great American 5000, if it wasn't for the group or team setup and the competitive setup of the teams, I would have never done that event. So that was a really cool thing to see, and just a great feature to have, to be able to track those teams, the totals for those teams throughout the challenge and stuff like that. So it's a great lead up maybe for a marathon event where there's a training team involved or something like that, just so you can kind of get people competing against each other and friends and family helping each other to get signed up for the event.
So social teams really create unity, and you could do something silly like a costume contest. You could do the most amount of runners in a group, but it really drives up registrations. And a lot of times you can have that trickle into some fun post-race event, an award ceremony centered around your fun groups and teams.
Yeah, and another great way to engage sponsors as well.
Yes, for sure. So we find that this is our most popular group type on RunSignup.
And I've been at half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, 8Ks, and I've actually seen those groups and teams activating during the event. So they were wearing matching costumes or shirts or singlets and stuff like that. So it was a great engagement. And I could hear people after the event or during the race saying, "Oh man, where'd they get that shirt? How do I join that group or team?" So I think it helps a lot tremendously for the next year, and then you can use that in your marketing for the next year's event as well.
So kind of the peer pressure aspect is fun with the groups and teams too.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of races give, whether it's a discount, which we'll get into a little bit later, or maybe a reward for the biggest team or the largest team size and stuff like that. So it just motivates friends and family to kind of join a team and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of the other great things is that there's flexible pricing options for groups and teams. So when you have relays and different unique setups, we can accommodate for all those different pricing needs. So it's automatic upon registration when the groups start to register. The next type of team we're going to talk about are fundraising teams. Fundraising teams are a group of individuals that come together to raise money for a certain cause. These are perfect for nonprofits with a heavy donation focus. The main goal of these teams and the only goal of these teams is to raise money together for cause-driven events. The cool thing about fundraising teams is that you actually don't have to participate in the race to be on a fundraising team. So to join a fundraising team, you can see it in the registration path, and you can also have it on the front of your race website. So this way, if you have a family member 5 states away who wants to be on your fundraising team and help you raise the money, they can join and be a part of it, even if they don't want to get up and run the half marathon with you.
Yeah, that's a great, not necessarily new feature, but relatively new feature with the cover pages, having that right there and not having to drill into the donations or give button. So being on the front page, being able to see that goal thermometer, the top fundraising teams and stuff like that. So it's just a way to see, it's exposed a little bit quicker for your audience to engage them a little bit better, so you kind of don't get them lost in translation.
Yeah, we have really great fundraising milestones now with custom badges. We have goal thermometers and a lot of fun things that motivate your fundraisers on your team to raise more. We have a lot of great webinars on this that can dive a lot deeper in all the tools, but we highly recommend you checking them out. One thing to note, we see a lot of people set up the groups and teams that I would just refer to, and then the fundraising teams. If you have both set up, definitely check with your RunSignup representative to make sure you need both, because in most use cases, you may just need one or the other. So definitely check with your RunSignup rep to figure out the best solution for you.
Right, yeah, the big difference is, do you want to increase registrations or do you want to increase fundraising? And if you want to do, social interaction and increase registrations and that's your main focus, then it's probably going to be those social teams. But if your main focus is that nonprofit, that fundraising route, those fundraising teams and individual pages, then you definitely want to implement the fundraising teams over the social teams.
The third type of team that we have on RunSignup is called a corporate team. These are probably our less popular type of team setup. However, there are some large races that still use it, and these are geared towards large corporate events. It enables the ability for corporations and companies and other associations to pay for their employees or members. This setup makes corporate teams a great way for organizations to have like a wellness event associated to it or a Get Fit challenge, and it encourages the employees' families too to participate in these race events. They coincide with a lot of health and wellness campaigns for the large companies, so that makes it pretty cool.
Yeah.
The registration fees are invoiced, and the company chooses their own payment settings on these. We recommend only when more than about 25% of participants will be on a company team to use this. You can kind of catch on, it is our most technical team feature. So in most cases, there's other easier ways to do this for your race. If you're still interested in it and you think it might fit your needs, definitely ask your RunSignup rep about it to kind of learn the ins and outs before you go ahead and make it live and set it up.
Definitely more of a high-end setup, but it can be successful. The Anthem corporate run out of Richmond, they did it this way, and probably 40% of their registrations are coming through that corporate track, so that invoice track and stuff like that. So it was a good idea for them, but most of your standard 5Ks and stuff like that with sponsors and things like that, there's a different way to maybe set it up that might be more effective for you, but this is definitely a solution that can help if it's the right case. All right, so there's a couple of different pricing options for your groups and teams. The most popular pricing options you're going to see are going to be automatic discounts based on the team or the size, or maybe refunds based on the team or the size. So you could say any team size of 3, 4, 5, 6 or more, you're going to get an automatic discount at registration of X amount of dollars, or you can set it up so once the third member joins that team, everybody's going to get that $5 discount, and then that first and second person are going to get $5 refunded back to their credit card. And the best thing is it happens within 24 hours. I've actually been on a couple teams where this has happened, so I've pushed my friends to join, and I saw that $5 credit on my credit card, and there's no processing fees for you guys or anything like that. So the customers really like it, your participants really like it, so it's a great way to engage people from the get-go. And then when they do get that confirmation email, that's when they can use that URL or custom link to engage their friends and stuff like that.
That's a popular one.
Yeah. So you can also set up, specific pricing for those relay events, which is super, super helpful for triathlons or some of our newer paddle events and things like that. So I know a lot of events use that. And then you can even have group setup fees, so maybe they're not paying up front, or the captain might not be paying for everybody, so you can set those up so people can come back and set that up later. So this is where every single member will get a discount. So regardless of the size, you're just trying to push those groups and teams. So it's automatically done at checkout if they join a group or team. So you can say, just like here, after member 0 joins, everybody's going to get the discount. So it's not going to necessarily push people to get their friends so they can get a refund, but it is a way to engage initially.
And one unique thing on here is you don't have to have this pricing set up for all of your events that you have on your race webpage. You can just hit it for the applicable events that you want the team pricing on. So there's a drop down right here that you hit the radio button just for the 5K, but you don't want it for the fun run. We can totally make that happen.
And if like one race is going to sell out, maybe it's something you don't need to do, but if the 10K, you've had registration down the last couple of years, you can implement it just for that to kind of see how it helps. So just as we talked about, based on the team size, so this is where they're going to get a discount if they're the 4th member or later, and then if they're 1st through 3rd, they'll get that automatic refund back to their credit card.
And this one is refunds based on size, so this is refunding the members that paid full price.
So this is that relay style pricing, so it's going to be a separate event for the relay. So if you have a triathlon relay for the Olympic distance where somebody's going to swim, somebody else is going to bike, and somebody else is going to run, obviously per person you don't want them to pay the same as somebody that does the Olympic distance triathlon by themselves. Mm-hmm. So the race wizard can handle all of this in your different events and stuff like that, and then you can require them to join that team as well. And then it allows them to swap out members, and if you allow participant manage and stuff like that. So great for relay teams in a triathlon, that if the triathlon's 150 for a single person to join, you might be able to make it 200 for the relay, but then it's only $67 or whatever per person.
And with the participant management features, it really allows that self-serve model to happen, so the group can manage their team and everything that comes with it, so the race director doesn't have to worry about it. And the group setup fee, basically it's a charge for a team to be created. So it can be used in combination with the member registration fees. I personally don't see this used a lot. Do you have a lot of experience with this?
It's a great way for maybe sponsors or a large group. So you're saying, hey, you get however many group members, and you're going to pay $150 on the front end for all of them to join. So that's another way outside of the corporate team setup to make it a little simpler. So you can use that to set up corporate teams just like you can large group sizes. So then that, not necessarily the team captain, but whoever's in charge of that corporation can pay the $150 or $200, and then they get X numbers of entries on that team. A lot of you have probably used that coupon code before for that, but this is just another way to handle that.
So now we're going to briefly touch on the team reporting that is offered within groups and teams.
So this is just the main report that's going to show all your groups and teams here.
So this is actually a golf tournament that they use groups and teams as their foursomes. So if you would click on these links here, it would drill down into the team members' information, and you can see everything within the team there. And this is found by going on your dashboard, by going to participants, groups and teams, and then reports.
So this event is an event that activated groups and teams, but they really didn't do any marketing for those groups and teams. There were no financial incentives and stuff like that. So you can see even a basic group and team sometimes can increase your race registration by almost 10% with doing bare minimal. So you can see each event and the percentages in those teams and stuff like that. And if you've had the event on RunSignup more than a year, it's really good to go back into prior years to kind of see how marketing has affected your groups and teams this year compared to the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's another reason why it's so important to renew your race, so you can get those year-over-year stats for the groups and teams. You can see every single year, hopefully your increases in registration numbers through groups and teams.
Right. So you're just able to download really any report you want within Teams. So a super important one is your captain report. So you can see all of those captains, and then you're able to communicate with those captains specifically with any needs or information you want them to know that you don't want to send out, maybe 1,000 or 1,500 emails to different people.
So everyone loves social media nowadays, so we really encourage you to get creative and get social when you have a funky theme or a fun costume competition. You could do discounts or swag for large team sizes, and you can really market these to your team captains. They can be the liaisons to push everything out, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram. We offer 100% free marketing on this. You could use email marketing. And we find that around 29.6% of registrants, they end up joining. So if you have any other questions with anything we went over today, please email us. Brian Flynn is flynn@runsignup.com, and Lauren Bergren is lauren@runsignup.com. And if you've liked this video, please hit like and subscribe.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.